You've probably heard a question that seemed simple, maybe even innocent, yet something inside you whispered, something's not right here. The tone was calm, the smile looked sincere, and still, when you answered, you realized, too late, that you had stepped into a game you could never win. This is the true art of the manipulator. They don't just lie with words, they lie with intentions. They lie through silence, through expressions, through carefully chosen questions meant to dismantle your confidence and put you on the defensive. These people don't need to raise their voice, all they have to do is plant a seed of doubt in your mind. And what begins as a casual conversation slowly becomes a psychological battlefield, where your greatest enemy isn't the other person, it's yourself. You start justifying things you never did. You start apologizing for emotions that weren't even yours. And little by little, you begin to believe that you are the problem. At that point, the manipulator has already won, without lifting a finger. The ancient Stoic philosophers understood this kind of trap long before modern psychology gave it a name. Seneca wrote that he who controls his anger cannot be controlled by anyone. Epictetus taught that no one can harm you without your consent. And Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the mind is stronger than any word spoken against it. What they were saying is simple, yet profound. The manipulator's power lies in your reaction. Without your emotional response, they have no control. Without your fear, they lose the game. Today, we live in a world where manipulation is far more refined. It hides in social media, in relationships, at work, even in the most ordinary conversations. It comes disguised as empathy, as concern, as interest. But the intention is always the same, to plant doubt and harvest control. In this video, we'll uncover the 5 most dangerous questions used by liars and manipulators to destabilize your mind, test your limits, and make you doubt yourself. And more importantly, we'll discover how the Stoics would respond to each of them, with calm, logic, and a level of mental presence so strong that it disarms any attempt at manipulation. You'll learn how to recognize the subtle signs of someone trying to control the narrative. You'll learn how to respond without anger, without fear, and without losing your balance. And in the end, you'll gain something no one can ever take from you, self-mastery. Stay with me until the end, and if this video helps you see something new, consider subscribing. It's not about supporting the channel, it's about investing in yourself. Because every piece of knowledge is a weapon against manipulation, and every lesson in philosophy is a shield against deceit. Remember this, he who masters his mind, masters his life. And today, you'll learn how to never hand that power to anyone again. Have you ever been faced with a question that seemed harmless, yet something inside? You felt a warning, a gentle tone, a calculated smile, a subtle pause, and before you even realized it, you were already inside a game you could not win. That's the work of a manipulator. They don't just lie with words, they lie through questions. Every phrase, every expression, is carefully designed to make you doubt yourself. If you can't see beyond the performance, you end up trapped in a cycle of self-doubt, apologizing for things you never did and fighting against yourself instead of against the one truly pulling the strings. The ancient Romans, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, understood these human dynamics over 2,000 years ago. They warned that manipulation is often subtle but powerful, built through sweet words, soft gestures, and calculated silences that induce guilt, uncertainty, and submission. In this video, we'll explore 6 questions manipulators use to confuse, control, and weaken you. More importantly, I'll show how the Stoics would respond, with clarity, calm, and assertiveness, turning manipulation into light that reveals the truth. Question 1, are you overreacting? At first glance, this question seems trivial, maybe even caring. But hidden behind it lies an accusation. You're weak, too sensitive, or imagining problems that don't exist. Think about it. How many times have you pointed out something wrong, only to hear a laugh, followed by your overreacting? Or maybe at work, you questioned an unethical decision and heard relax, it's just business. That's not concern, it's a tactic to weaken your conscience, which is your natural radar for danger. Seneca once reminded us, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Manipulators plant seeds of doubt in your mind until you start believing you are the problem. But sensitivity is not weakness, it's perception. It's the alert system that detects inconsistencies before they become disasters. Real-life examples. A financial analyst notices small inconsistencies in reports and is called paranoid, later proving a multi-million-dollar fraud. A partner notices subtle changes in behavior and discovers betrayal months later. An employee points out ethical misconduct and is told, "You're taking things too seriously," as the situation worsens. The Stoic response is calm and observant. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone can show me I am mistaken, I will gladly change, for I seek truth, not victory." So, don't defend or apologize. Simply say, "I'm not overreacting. I'm observing." Does that bother you? That short, firm answer returns the weight of responsibility to the manipulator and protects your awareness. Question 2, you trust me, right? It sounds kind, almost innocent, but it's a trap. Anyone who demands trust instead of earning it has already revealed their intentions. True trust is built through consistency, repeated actions, and transparency, never through insistence or pressure. When someone insists, "You trust me, right?" what they really want is for you to ignore your own judgment and give blind faith. Epictetus warned, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Manipulators exploit this truth. They use guilt to make you feel wrong for being cautious. Real-life examples. A business partner hides financial documents and says, "Trust me." A spouse hides their phone and insists, "You trust me, don't you?" A friend promises honesty but acts inconsistently, repeating, "You know I'd never lie to you." The Stoic response is calm, detached, and clear. Pause, breathe, and say, "Trust is earned through consistent actions, not words." Are you asking me to ignore my judgment? This flips the power dynamic. Blind trust breeds betrayal. Real trust is built piece by piece through integrity and time. Question 3, are you accusing me? A clever question, a mirror turned against you. You raise a valid concern, and suddenly, you're the villain. Instead of answers, you're forced to defend yourself. The manipulator redirects the focus from their behavior to your reaction. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best answer to anger is silence." In Stoicism, silence isn't surrender, it's refusing to play the manipulator's game. How to respond? Stay grounded, maintain eye contact, pause for a few seconds, then calmly say, "Should I be?" 3 words that return the pressure to where it belongs. The manipulator expects panic, not composure. Examples. A boss confronted about missing data, "Are you accusing me of stealing?" A colleague questioned about errors, "Are you accusing me?" A partner reacting defensively, "Are you accusing me of lying?" The Stoic doesn't get drawn into emotional traps. He knows that accusation is a weapon of distraction, not a reflection of truth. Question 4, would I lie to you? A delicate, almost poetic question, but also a performance of innocence. It's designed to shift your doubt into guilt and disarm you emotionally. The more someone insists you must believe them, the more they reveal their fear of being exposed. Seneca wrote, "If it's not true, don't say it. If it's not right, don't do it." An honest person doesn't need to convince anyone, their actions speak for them. Examples. A partner hides messages and asks, "Would I lie to you?" A coworker deflects blame and says, "Do you really think I'd lie?" A friend promises confidentiality but acts otherwise. A leader preaches transparency but hides manipulation behind words. The Stoic response is simple and disarming. That's not the question. The question is, would I know if you did? Liars live in the shadows of doubt. Your clarity brings light, and truth always reveals itself. Question 5, can't we just move on? This is the manipulator's final card, the tactic of exhaustion. When deception fails, they appeal to your fatigue. "Can't we just move on?" sounds peaceful, even mature, but it's not about resolution, it's about escape. What they're really saying is, "I don't want to take responsibility. I just need you to be too tired to keep asking questions." Examples. A company involved in a scandal says, "Let's focus on the future, not the past." A cheating spouse pleads, "Can't we just move on?" A colleague who made a costly mistake insists, "Let's just drop it." The Stoic response, calm, patient, and firm. "I'll move on when I understand what happened, not before." Truth can't be rushed. Patience guided by reason is the Stoic's strongest defense. Your peace isn't built on haste or exhaustion, it's built on clarity. The Stoics knew this deeply. They didn't give in to pressure or guilt. When you stay calm and firm, the manipulator's game collapses. Moving on isn't about speed, it's about honesty and integrity. Liars depend on emotion, not logic. They want you to feel guilty, ashamed, or afraid. But this is where Stoic philosophy becomes your shield. Epictetus taught that some things are within our control, others are not. That single truth is the foundation of freedom. When you recognize what belongs to you, your choices, your perceptions, and what doesn't, lies, manipulation, guilt, no one can use those tactics against you. Sensitivity isn't weakness, it's awareness. Time is neutral, truth doesn't expire, and the Stoic mind doesn't move at the manipulator's pace. It observes, breathes, and responds with precision, like a sword of reason cutting through chaos. Picture yourself in the center of a storm, strong winds, shadows swirling, yet inside, you remain still. The Stoic knows, silence is strength, observation is power, detachment is freedom. You now know the 5 or 6 dangerous questions manipulators use to control, confuse, and weaken you. Each question is a trap, but you're no longer an easy target. You've become the observer, the strategist. The Stoic doesn't shout or react, he stays calm, watches, and lets falsehood reveal itself. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, they all knew. He who sees clearly cannot be controlled. Clarity is your armor. Reason is your sword. Patience is your fortress. So remember, you're not cruel for having principles. You're not harsh for seeking truth. You're not weak for sensing deception. You're awake, and in a world full of shadows, the awakened are the most feared. Choose clarity. Choose reason. Move forward like a Stoic warrior, calm, observant, unshaken. If this message resonated with you, like the video, subscribe to Stoic Habit, and share it with someone who needs this light. And in the comments, write just 3 words. I choose clarity.